I'm Gwamesia Chelsea Debbie, Director of Programs for Community Center for Integrated Development. Today we have the training on women and girls and allies, and as part of the participants we have women in the formal and informal sector, we have IDPs and women and girls in other organizations and their allies. Today we have the training and it's mostly to talk about gender-based violence and how the understanding of gender-based violence, the causes and prevention and response in society, and how women perceive themselves as being vulnerable in society, and how to vehemently address these issues in society.
My name is Kamila Rebecca. I'm the Co-Executive Director of Community Center for Integrated Development. Today we discussed about risk factors of gender-based violence, the survival story when it comes to gender-based violence, and prevention and response mechanism in which young girls and women can take to prevent themselves or the community against gender-based violence.
My name is Etumbungu Cyril. I'm one of the facilitators of the discussion of women and girls. Today I just presented on one of the modules, and it's titled Prevention, Response and Good Practices in Combating and Eliminating Gender-Based Violence. So the module we led a discussion with the participants to identify ways in which we can prevent gender-based violence, and also the multi-sectorial approaches we can use in responding to gender-based violence. And finally, we had a session that participants highlighted good practices in combating and eliminating gender-based violence.
At this particular time, we find ourselves in a conflict zone, and at this point in time, women are very vulnerable, mostly living from suburban areas to town, and the population is increasing, and we find women being at the forefront of the conflict and being very vulnerable in such situations.
My name is Betty, and I'm quite fortunate to attend this program, and I've learned that each and every one of us has a role to play in the fight of gender-based violence in our community and Cameroon at large.
I am Tabe Manyo Anita, an NGO volunteer at Dennis Mickey Foundation. So I'm here today with other girls to learn on gender-based violence. So far we have learned on gender and the different norms ascribed to gender, and on gender-based violence, the different gender-based violence, that's physical violence, emotional, psychological violence, and norms ascribed to violence and sexual violence.
The take-home message for the females today is to see themselves as one group, to see themselves as a community together, and having those allies who are there to support them no matter what they face, no matter the discrimination, no matter the ills in society, no matter the conflict. Community Center for Integration is here to tell them that they have a voice in society, and together we can help combat GBV in our society.
First of all, for all what I'm going to learn, I'm going to first of all start by teaching myself as a person, and I'm also going to start talk about it with members of my community and my family, because I believe when we start from ourselves, our home, will impact the community as large.
First of all, where I work, I'm going to educate my colleagues on what I have learned here today. I'm going to educate my neighbors and in my community about what I've learned here today, because I live mostly around women. So I'm going to educate them on how gender-based violence operates and who they can run to when they are being violated at home.
No, it was an interactive section, and the participants were all happy with the presentation.
It was a very interactive session, and people asked a lot of questions. like the feedback was really positive. It was a really positive event, and we found out that we thought people knew or had knowledge about gender-based violence, but there is much work. There's a lot to be done about gender-based violence in our community.
I just want to say thank you to the organizers for such an opportunity. It's a rare opportunity, and we are happy, we are grateful, and we will not misuse all the resources they have given to us today.
Yes, I have a word of appreciation for CCID. I thank them for inviting me for this workshop, and I want to say what I've learned here today, I'm going to impact it in my community and we'll see the change.
Say no to gender-based violence and speak up each time you identify any form of gender-based violence. Thank you.
The turnout was very great. We actually envisaged for 30, and they have shown up, and with all the various sectors which I named, survivors, allies, and other women and girls, the turn-up is quite encouraging, which shows that many women in society actually see the value and the importance of these trainings today.